Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. Tonight, podcast is 7 Ways Why Cowboy Wisdom. I grew up on a cattle ranch kind of in South Dakota and a farm operation, but Cowboy Wisdom has uh, a unique talent to it because when you're out there with the cattle and the livestock and the open range and all that stuff, there's a lot of listening, but there's a lot of intuitive uh, communication between you and whatever's going on out there. So Cowboy Wisdom is hypnotherapy that rises you out of the anxiety of therapy, opens a way for people to feel relaxed and energized, to rise out of their self-taught trauma, drama, blame, shame, and thinking that other people had something to do with their life. After every incident, we always blame somebody, but in reality is they're just a facilitator of your life. But something I really want people to understand is this country, and that's going to hypnotherapy school. People would come in, but they would never ever let go because they're looking for therapy to feel good. While hypnoacuity rises you out of that, allows you to examine and trust your inner self. It's about calming the inner landscape and energizing the inner landscape to color your world with your dreams. And when you go into something, you get into the shame, the blame, the drama, and the overthinking and all that stuff, and it just stresses you out in doubt and takes away your dreamer's dexterity. And that's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is about, is you communicating your dreamer's dexterity to the world. And one thing about the cowboy part is, and the wisdom, is the cowboy either is riding a horse, fixing fence, they're always doing something where it takes a lot of calm to be involved. As I now understand this and I express it to you, when you're working with cattle and livestock, you got to be calm. And you can't get mad at them because then they get all frustrated and riled up and, oh my God. Then you get we had 750 head of cows, and then you put 700 calves with that. That's 1,400 head of animals with their own mind and doing their own mind things, kind of like people. But see, hypnoacuity rises you above that. And what I really liked about working cattle, it was a lot of work, but it was fun because cattle have a uh, a personality just like people. And I'd like to know what they think of people sometimes. But what really had happened is you get working with them, and then you had to have a sense of intuition because you were trying to outguess them and they were going to outguess you. And you got 7 riders and 750 head of cows. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of ganging up on things. But the little calves, they were fun. When calves were born, they were unique. They'd play games, and just watching them play was worth a lot. So even we farrowed 120 head of sows. We had about 1,200 head of pigs. When it was up around 15, 20 pounds, they were fun to watch. And then they just grew up. Animals are fun to watch. You think you're controlling them, but you're facilitating them and participating in their growth. Grind and feeding them. That used to be my favorite thing in South Dakota. It'd be 100 and some degrees, putting the hay and the grain in the bin for the hogs and the cattle. Then when you put it out, it'd be anywhere from 10 above to 30, 35 below. Got heat stroke in the summer, pneumonia in the winter. But it was fun. feeding cattle and that stuff, that's fun to me. But the one thing about cattle is they can sense things. And when a fence is down, they're gone. That fence can stand up there for 500 days, but if it's down for over 5 minutes, some cattle are gone. And same with pigs. We was building a, uh, I think it was a 50 by 100-foot shed out for the hogs, and we electric fenced it off. So anyway, we'd let them out there and we'd let the electric fence out, and then, but they could sense when that electric fence wasn't working. So one night, about sometime in the night, the electric fence quit, and there was 1,100 head of hogs chewing the valve stems off of the tires of the contractors' vehicles. I didn't get to see it, but when you get around them size of pigs, when that air let out of them tires, they'd all take off running. And I think they did it 8 times because there was 8 tires. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Them animals they're ornery and inquisitive, but they're fun. Animals are unique. But however, when it comes to working cattle, and the cows are anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300 pounds. The calves were anywhere from 500 to 400 to 700 pounds, and then you'd work them and do that. But you had to understand what they were going to do, and that's where the cowboy wisdom come in, because you could never know cattle. You could understand cattle, and you could do things. It's just like life. You're never going to know life. You can understand it, facilitate, and participate with it, but you're never going to know it. And that's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is about understanding your life. It's about communicating with yourself and communicating with your daily life. When you can communicate with your life, you can communicate away being a servant to your past and being a people pleaser. Oh, hell yeah, I was a people pleaser. I thought if I was good to people, they'd be good to me. That's the biggest lie in the world. Sometimes the better you are to some people, the worse you're going to get treated. You're better off just being you, telling them how you feel. If it isn't for them, that's fine. If it is for them, that's fine. But you can help people and be good to them, and they're going to take advantage of you. And so the best thing I learned for myself and I understand for myself is I just go my own way. And whoever's supposed to be there will be there. Whoever isn't won't be there. And see, something else, your thinking, knowing, memory, mind, and your trauma and your drama and blame and shame, they're all embedded, frozen in time representations. And when that incident occurs, it's not occurring today to the subconscious. It's occurring back whenever it happened in your life. So that's why the subconscious mind, and you go back and you don't know why you're feeling frustrated and angry, it's because that event happened in the past. So we try to cover it up and hide it, but when it gets activated, you can't do anything with it. You just got to address it, bless it, confess it, and do whatever. And when that subconscious mind is activated, it's the emotions, the words, the descriptions, and all the images, they activate right there. A lot of people call it triggers, but it just activates that incident in your life, and then you become that event again. And yes, I did. I did get to walk away from it. Oh, I'm a teacher. You guys got to go through it. I don't. Well, you're not the guru. till you went through your own rat-a-tat crap. And one thing about it, when that all that stuff, the words, the emotions, the feelings, it instigates your insecurities, immaturities, the way I always did things, my parents' way of life, really activates self-embedded doubt about me, myself, and I, and it actually steals your courage and your nerve to rise out of it. We always think that the outside world is something we can blame, but it's not. The outside world is embedded representations within you. And when it's activated or triggered, they say, that's when you start questioning it to rise out of it. That's what Cowboy Wisdom does. It gives you the quiet fortitude to question your own life. By admitting my limitations, barriers, and bondages that are my comfort zone boundaries, that's where I get to introduce my inspirations, my questions, and everything it is to rise out of it. And that's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is. It's liberation over therapy. Hypnoacuity focuses on pure liberation, liberating and allowing you to release and let go of the hidden dismay of of the situation, rather than reliving your past, because we don't relive the past. The past is right here. The past is out front of us. And with Cowboy Wisdom, you learn to get to listen, because like when you're working cattle or something, you got to be listening what's going on back here, because them cows don't mind putting their hoof prints on you. And but when liberation over therapy is hypnoacuity focuses on pure liberation, liberating you to release, let go of the hidden dismay, rather than reliving and being a servant to your past experiences. Then it empowers your inner star, encourages you to embrace your native megastar prowess, allowing you to become the Oscar winner of your life, opening up to trusting your abilities, promotes trust in your abilities, and enables you to communicate away your dismay, fostering sovereign reliance and confidence to flow through your veins of fame. Then it breaks you free from the past, concentrates on liberating the present moment, allowing you to rise above your past struggles and embrace your sleek, unique talents to ballet through life with the greatest of ease. And what it really does is overcoming perfection. Perfection programming. It rises you out of that and opens a way for you to dissolve societal perfection programming and stops you from intimidating the limitations of others. How many times have you went to a program and you really opened up and you live their limitations? And see, when somebody tells you something and it's in a program, we've been programmed to follow. So how do you unknowingly follow in imitating other people's limitations and barriers? Oh, yes, I have. See, that's one thing I finally woken up to, admitted to myself. I don't get away from none of this. This is all me, and I get to do what I got to do. But Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity awakens your listening, and your imaged inspiration, opening campaigners' questions, optimizing canny comprehension of your life situation. See, something are you open to? Would you rather learn or comprehend the situation? To me, comprehend individualizes the situation and electrifies inspiring wisdom to express inner rising revelations, designs and colors my inner scenery with my dreamer's paradises and pristine desired lifestyle and my cash flow of my accomplished outcomes. That's the thing, accomplished outcomes. What makes you feel better? To me, it's accomplished outcomes because I ain't thinking about what I have to do. It's a flow. As I now understand and admit, challenges, adversity, controversy are my individualized, awakened energies. Energizes my sleek, unique abilities, my adventurous acumen and agility to energize and appreciate my audacity to rise out of my current situation with my hearkening my free flowing inspirations, intuition, imagination, innovation, relishing and embellishing my sleek, unique trailblazer talents that chauffeur me through life with ease. See, one thing about when you're out there on them horses or work driving a tractor or doing anything out there, you have to be aware of everything that's going on. You actually get in tune, like when you're driving a tractor and you're doing, oh, I don't know. Let's say you're discing a field. You start listening for the sounds of that tractor, and you can pick up when something is not going as what goes haywire. Then you can get out and fix it. See, it's about listening and understanding. And actually, when you're really sitting in there and you've been in there like for hour and 15 minutes, you start feeling everything that's going on, and you get in tune with that tractor and that machinery, and you go through life. And all my sleek, unique trailblazer talents chauffeur me through life with ease, energizing, adventurous spectaculars, emancipating my cowboy wisdom hypnoacuity that shows you the way inspirations rises you out of your overthinking about your current situations to controlling reactions to your daily life. See, all your reactions come from your subconscious mind. You start getting into it, and whatever them representations are, you're going to react to life the same way. So when you're in the frozen and it's a frozen in time emotions, feelings, and descriptions and images that represent 7 ways why Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity inspires you to rise above anxiety. As that opens the way for individuals to rise above their anxiety that's associated with traditional therapy, promoting relaxation and inner energy to overcome self-taught trauma and drama. You can release and communicate away past limitations by questioning and addressing the subconscious mind, frozen in time, emotions and words and insecurities. By you question it, and it opens a way for individuals to admit and release their limitations, barriers, and bondages. Because all your limitations, barrier, and bondages, that's your comfort zone. Then it leads you to autonomous expansion. Also, it awakens your inner wisdom to optimize your inner wisdom through listening, images, inspiration, asking empowering questions, enabling a deeper comprehension and expressions of your inner revelations. For me, I rise of sovereign liberation because liberation is uncontrolled by outside sources. But getting back to the cowboy wisdom, cowboy, they sit on them horses. They have to communicate without cell phones. Well, they use cell phones, but I mean, you learn to watch the animals. And when you get 750 head of cows strung out, driving them home or up north for the winter or for the summer, we used to have 2 places 8 miles apart, and we'd drive them cows back and forth. And there's 2 things that happen. every time. Going north in the spring, we get about 3 to 5 miles, 2 to 3 miles from the where we're going to drop the cattle and put them in the corral. We get a thunderstorm. Felt like we'd get 5 inches of rain, but we only got about 60, 70 hundredths, but it was quick. And then in the wintertime, we'd leave them up there until the first snow, and then we'd feed them for about a week. Then we'd go get them and drive them down. But you know what's unique? You think cattle ain't wise? We had a cow we bought out of the Fort Pierce sale barn. Her tag number was 289. Damn, she was a good cow. Big cow. When she knew when it was time to go north, and she knew when it was time to come south. If she'd get in the lead and she would put up she'd go at a fast gait all the way up and all the way back. And then you get them, they'd string out probably for, it felt like 2 miles, a bit like 3/4 of a mile, or maybe a little longer. And then people would want to go up and down the road. It was always fun. It was fun. But you know, the thing about it is, you sit back in the back and you're just herding them cows. You had to be awake because them calves and cows, they wanted to go back to the feed. So when you had to be awake, you had to understand what was going on. And see, it's just like life is like herding cattle. You got to understand it, listen, and see what's going on. And like working any livestock, there's a lot of ingenuity involved in working livestock. But one thing is being calm and watching and listening and observing to what's going on. There's nothing more fun than driving cattle or working cattle or riding horse. I did learn how to rope when I was at my uncle's. Got kind of good at it. Good enough to be broke. Because some of them boys could really throw the rope. But roping was a lot of fun. But once you start roping and it gets in your blood, it takes a lot of money and time. But it's fun. There's nothing more fun than riding a horse to me. And you get to enjoy life. That's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is about. Having fun, liberating you from you, and opening up to understand you are the trailblazer and trendsetter of your dreams. And that's what I really want people to understand. You are the instigator, the innovator, and the maestro of your orchestra of life. So as you open up to this and get to enjoy life, you're going to enjoy you more than ever. That's the thing. We never learned how to enjoy ourselves. That's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is about. And that's the Cowboy Wisdom, because there are some times it was unsettling, but it was always great for me. So anyway, I'm Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity and Pure Liberation Television. And may your life for always flow in lavish abundance. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. May abundance flow to everybody in a bold, bright way. And good night.